Hello and welcome to a quick update on Buxton's new £100 million development led by Capital Centric for the Spring Shopping Centre. As you might already know, a request for an environmental impact assessment has been submitted to the council related to such development roughly a week ago. It's not publicly accessible information as of yet, but it did include a small description in the submission on the High Peak Borough Council planning map. This description has given a little insight to more specific information we didn't have before, such as the commercial floor space within the development totalling at 5,457 square metres, and the inclusion of 329 residential units. This is 79 more residential units and 812 more square metres of space than originally advertised, which is great stuff. It means the design has certainly become more finalised, and I'd say more the better, to make most of the prime site this development sits on. Along with this, although I could not find the original statement, but a spokesperson has said that the development will include drinking establishments, a cinema, theatre and live music venue. But I'd say that should be taken with a handful of salt, as commercial clients most certainly have not been finalised. But as well as this information, a mention of public space was made with the inclusion of a new public realm with squares, landscaping and courtyards. Stuff that we've known about before, but we do now have a more up-to-date piece of concept art from one of those areas. This image has supposedly come from the council, however I struggled to actually find the original source, and I believe they might have uploaded it by mistake, and of course local media outlets have kept the image on the internet since its removal. Nonetheless, this image is great compared to the previous concepts, as this one is a lot clearer in terms of what they actually envisioned for the site. So I believe what we see here is the view looking towards the springs with the River Wye just to my right. The first thing you see when you see this concept art is how green it is. It's very typical of modern concepts for urban developments to be greenwashed. So as much as greenery will be a part of the development, just imagine this with half as many trees and less shrubs. Even with the less greenery, the opening up of the Wye with steps down to the river will be a world apart from how it is right now, and it will be so much better, allowing the Wye to finally breathe once again. And another thing to note is this commercial unit. It is something briefly mentioned in old plans to include a riverside-style cafe, which this art depicts, but from the previous most up-to-date concept art, this was to be a part of a mixed-use unit, not as standalone as this new updated art depicts. And it's a little confusing then where this will actually be in the plan, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And as a final note, I also don't believe this cafe-type building would feasibly be built as shown due to the ridiculous extra cost of a green walkable roof. More evidence that this concept is more to win people over in the public realm side of the development. And I do entrust Capital Centric can provide great public spaces, and there are current developments that they have finished that all revolve around some kind of open space, and they are finished to a high standard, such as Campus in Manchester being a great example. Now to finish this video, the last one I did was on the Q&A, where some spokespeople from C&C came along and chatted to us Buxtonians. From that, nearly 700 people expressed their thoughts and over 400 people turned up to the event. Varying degrees of attitude towards the project had been shown, and I personally don't hide my optimistic views on the project, but I'd love to hear what you think about the project and this new concept art. And of course, if you have any questions, I'll certainly do my best to answer them. Oh, and just a few final things just to ram in just towards the end of the video. McDonald's is progressing really well. There's now solar panels on the roof over the car park section, drive-throughs in, and it's looking like it's almost ready to go. Most of the facade work is also up. But on top of that, whilst I was filming this video, they have started spray painting down the high street, and it looks like a 1980s bowling alley because it is painted neon blue and pink, which I'm assuming are all markings for utilities, possibly leading to the high street being ripped up and repaved, which was something that was put down in the plans when the council got this money for the High Street Fund, is to repave everything, because, well, it is 28 years old, Buxton's High Street pedestrianisation project. So maybe it is due for a change, but I'm not entirely sure if this is concrete yet, or if they're just marking utilities for I don't know what. But thank you very much for watching. Big thank you to all my supporters on Ko-fi, and until next time, hurrah.